What is going on, everybody? Today, a short video, but one that is very, very important. How short can you go with a hair system? How short of a hairstyle can you rock and still have it look natural? What are the things that you're gonna have to be worried about? What are the things that you're gonna have to consider? So right off the top, let's just say, yes, it is totally possible to have quite a short hairstyle with a hair system. It's doable, but there will be factors and considerations that you do have to take into account. So let's go into some videos, let's watch some content and see some of the different styles that are available. We're gonna go from longer and then move into shorter hairstyles and talk about what are the options, what are the things you gotta do, consider, so on and so forth. Let's hop in. All right, so this first video right here is from Hair for All. Now this is gonna still be quite a long hairstyle on the short side. So right here, we can see that they're starting to set the blend of this hairstyle down lower on the sides of the head. Instead of working the blending point up here, we can see that there is longer hair that comes down into the sides of the head. Therefore, the blending point is lower, making for a more natural look. So this hairstyle, still pretty long, kind of a Caesar cut, if you will. This is like a light to medium style hair system, quite light though. You can see in here it's piecey. This I think is probably a light medium unit, maybe like 95% density, kind of like what I'm wearing right now. Just shorter, so there's less hair. I like this a lot because it's short, but it also lowers the blending point, which is kind of a problem. And a lot of hairstyles that we talk about can have like a mushroom kind of like poofiness right here, which is often where the blending point or the part of the hair system is with your natural hair, and it can give kind of a slightly unnatural look, whereas this lowers it and it's designed to be worn down over where it's blended, and you can get really phenomenal looks very, very easily. This next video right here is going to be a similar length, but show you some of the possibilities and some of the style options. This next video right here is going to be another fairly long, short hairstyle for your non-surgical hair replacement, wig, toupee, hair system, whatever you want to call it. And this right here is going to focus on ease. This is going to be very, very easy for someone to manage. So this is something that if you want a short hair system, but you're just getting started, this is something you might want to try, and we'll talk about it after. So we're watching the clip right now. This guy actually had a hair system before, getting it replaced, getting a new one put on, but we can see his sides are very short, not much length whatsoever. In fact, it looks like he has a fair amount of natural bio hair on the top of his head is still there, but decided to make this transition a little bit earlier than later, which is honestly great because it's a very easy way to transition into a hair system without people knowing. So sooner than later is sometimes better. So this right here, it looks like it has a lace front unit and it's being put down with some liquid adhesive, which I mean, it's just incredibly natural and it's amazing looking. Really is fantastic. Okay, so this right here, we can start seeing the hair system put together. With this haircut right here, the top is laying over the sides, which creates a really easy natural blend. Looks fantastic, and it covers the very front of the hairline. And the reason that is really, really great and easy for someone that is new to hair systems is, once again, way less hairline maintenance and side maintenance as well. You don't have to worry about it coming up or flapping up. You know, if you exercise a lot, you sweat, and you're worried about how long your bond is going to last, maybe you don't know how to do your bond right now, this right here is a great option because you can kind of get away with not having to have it perfect. Right now, as we move into some of the shorter styles that we're about to look at, we'll start talking about why this is important. So I want to take this video right here, which is from Dave's Hair Systems. Go give him a follow. He is another YouTuber that puts up videos about hair systems. So check this out. This right here on top looks like it's maybe 3/4 of an inch. On the sides looks like it's maybe 1/2 an inch. Hopefully he'll comment down below and give us a little bit more feedback, but it's quite short. It's quite short. This is not quite a buzz cut, but it is definitely low maintenance. So with this kind of hair system, right, It does have some room to blend into the sides right here because there's some length here, there's some length here, so it can kind of come down over it. So not the shortest, but still pretty dang short. Go watch his channel if you want to see more content from him, short hairstyles, because that's kind of the look that he rocks. What he's been rocking for probably like the past 4 to 6 months that he's been wearing hair systems and been on the journey. And you get to see a lot of what his hair system looks like, some of his trials, some of his tribulations, and overall he does a great job. It's super low maintenance as far as like the hairstyle, right? Some hairstyles require a lot more maintenance and some others are very just get up, scraggle your hair and get out the door, you know? So with this though, what I would say is you're gonna have to start being concerned a little bit more with the front hairline and the sides and back of the unit. There's enough hair right here to cover the front hairline and the sides. However, especially the front on this look right here, if it starts coming up, if it starts wrinkling, which is something that it can happen as your liquid bond starts to loosen, it can kind of scrunch up, especially like when you're sleeping and things like this. You'll start to notice it a little bit more when the length of your hair system is around this style. There's not as much coverage. There's definitely not coverage on the front because it's barely there. And on the sides, you do have a little bit of coverage. Now I went and I actually found some photos off of YouTube, some stuff that's off of YouTube. That way I can show it with you that other guys are doing this, other guys that are just kind of living their normal lives and going about doing things and they're not making videos specific to it. Now this gentleman right here I found on a forum, his picture he posted saying that he was wearing a short hair system and this is what it looks like. Once again, this is a short Caesar style haircut, therefore, you know, it's kind of pushed down forward over his head. I think it looks great. You know, this right here is pretty natural looking, and you know he does have some coverage over the front hairline. So this is definitely something that's an option, and I think this is probably shorter than Dave's hair system, the video that we just watched. So we're continuing to get shorter and shorter and shorter on the styles here. Now this is the last one that I wanted to share. This one right here is from a gentleman. He actually got a hair transplant years and years ago and decided to switch into wearing a lace frontal unit, I believe. Now this right here we can see is very, very short. I can't imagine this is any longer than maybe half an inch, probably shorter, maybe like 3/8 of an inch or so, but very, very short, lots of exposure. You know, it looks like right here is kind of where his hair system meets his natural hair. So I do think that this looks good. It's manageable, but let's talk about what the issue of this is. And check this out. This hair system this guy is wearing is a 60% density unit. What does that mean? Well, most stock hair systems are medium, so they're 100% density, if not more. Light medium is down around like 90%. Light hair systems are down around 80%. This gentleman has a hair system that's down around 60%. So that is very, very thin. But this is probably a natural look for a lot of European descendant individuals, especially with shorter hair. The last thing that you'd want to have is a very, very dense unit while it's short. I think you would be able to get away with less of it matching. That being said, so if you're gonna have a hair system that is this short right here, you're gonna have to be conscious of the fact that your front and your sides are gonna have to be attached and maintained a little bit more often. One thing that happens as your hair system kind of starts to get near reattachment is you'll start getting lifts around the sides and on the backs. And I think the reason for this is probably because as we're sleeping, you know, we put pressure and, you know, we just kind of move our head on pillows or the bed or whatever we're touching. And it tends to put some pressure on the adhesive. And as the adhesive weakens due to sweat, due to heat, all that kind of stuff, it starts to just kind of like scrunch and move around a little bit. That's kind of my first indicator that I'm like, okay, you know, I'm probably a day or two out and I need to start considering reattaching my system. So with a short hair system like this, when those things start happening, it's going to become more noticeable. You know, the hair is shorter, right? So there's less variation. And if you have something bunched up, number one, that piece of your hair is going to look longer because it's bunched up and it's sticking up higher. But number two, that actually might show at the point that you're blending. If the hair is that short in the back and sides where it's blending, if it's scrunched up, you might get some space where there is no hair system. So for me, not really something that I would want to consider going that short. I'm also just not a huge fan of going super duper short. I think it looks great on some people, not really for me, but it's possible. It's totally possible. I would say expect to do more maintenance on your hair system, reinstalling it more often. Definitely stick to a more realistic type base. So either a thin skin, like an ultra thin skin, or maybe like a Swiss lace. Those would be great options because you do want that front hairline to really kind of pop and to look really, really great with the short hair. Go on the lighter side for density because you don't want that really, really dense look up front. Like I said, this guy is wearing 60% density in this last thing that we just saw, these pictures right here. I'm wearing around 90% density, still pretty thick. So definitely, don't go above that unless you have insanely dense hair naturally and on your sides and things like this. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below. We will check you out soon.